MMAOddsBreaker, I'm Frank Trigg. Today, Sam Alvey getting ready to fight Dylan Andrews. Coming up here on UFC Fight Night. Whose head was that? Whose little head is that?
That's my little girl.
Hey, sweetie. How are you?
She may be popping in. My wife's gone, so I'm on baby duty.
Well, that's a good way to that's a good way to start it. How do you deal with, you're coming from practice, you come in, you got to be on baby duty. That's usually nap time and eat time for athletes. You don't get that. You got to feed and put someone down for a nap.
Yeah, I love it. That's Reagan. She's just wonderful. And about 14 days ago, we had our second little one born.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so little Ivel's with his mom because he's too young to be left with dad for now. But
because mom doesn't trust you.
No, because he's breastfed, so he has to eat every 30 minutes or something, and so it's just he'd just be miserable all day and hungry.
You can't help. There's nothing you can do. There's
nothing I can do. Yeah.
On that one. So how's the sleeping being now with a toddler and a newborn in the house?
I sleep great. I don't know if my wife does or not, but I sleep wonderful.
Is your wife a stay-at-home or is she working?
Actually, our babies. What's that?
Is your wife a stay-at-home or does she work as well too?
She's more of a stay-at-home. She's got her two degrees, but she's working on her doctorate now.
Okay.
So it's she does the school and then she manages Team Quest or the athletes of Team Quest. So she keeps busy, but then the kids are number one on her docket.
Perfect. It makes it easier on you though too, because then you don't have to worry about training ran over by 30 minutes. I have to be home right now because my wife's got to leave for work. I got to grab the kids. You don't have that issue.
Yeah, I really don't. We've got a system that works really well. When she's in school, I can watch the kids, or I can at least have them at the gym because I train a lot of people there as well. And the gym has a facility for the babies, or they can be with me. Or Team Quest is a great family place. It was really blessed to be to work for such a good company.
How'd you come up with the names? Reagan is kind of a normal name, but Ivel is your son's name?
Ivel, it was my grandfather's name.
Oh, okay.
My mom's dad was Ivel Lane. And my wife, she wanted a unique name, and I've never met another Ivel.
And do you know where your grandfather got the name?
It's about as unique as I could.
Yeah, it really is a unique name. Do you
know where he got it from?
Okay, yeah, that is a very unique name.
I've never met another one.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Dylan Andrews. Let's talk about this fight coming up here in Sydney, Australia on November 8th.
Okay.
Break down Dylan for us. How do you see him as a fighter?
I think he's an all-around fighter. I know in a lot of his fights they say he's a wrestler. He's not a wrestler. I mean, there's a difference between an American wrestler and the rest of the world kind of wrestler. And he may be good by Australian standards as far as wrestling goes, but he's not a Dan Henderson type wrestler.
Right.
So I'm prepared for him to try and take me down. If he's smart, that's what he's going to try and do. But I don't think he's going to be successful at it. He seems like a tough kid or tough guy. I suppose he's older than me, isn't he? He hits hard. He's got that big right hand. And his last couple of fights, he's been switching stances too. So I haven't been able to focus on fighting one orthodox fighter or one southpaw fighter. I've been working with, and Tarek Safadine is one of my training partners, and he switches better than most. So just trying to follow his footwork and defend his big shots.
Is there anything when you watch Anderson Silva, you have to worry about a lot of unorthodox effective striking, not just unorthodox, but knockout power from weird angles coming at you. Is there anything weird about Dylan's stand-up that you have to watch out for?
Not really. He does use it well to set up his takedowns. So I even if what he throws doesn't land, I've got to be able to sprawl and be able to get my underhooks. He does have a big right hand. He's knocked some people out with that big right hand of his. And so I've been working on defending that too. But again, Dan Henderson's got the biggest right hand in MMA. So it's been I think I've had a couple partners to really help me get ready for this fight.
And a good mimic for Dylan. What do you think Dylan's saying about you as he's sitting at home and he's talking to his coaches? What is he going to say if he had to analyze you? What do you think he's trying to say?
Well, based off my last fight, I think he's going to be trying to kick me a lot. Because apparently I don't check kicks. and so I've been working on that too. I don't want to give any free kicks away. But you know what? He's got a lot of fights under his belt. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I'm in the same boat. So I think it's really going to be his strengths against my strengths, and I think my strengths are going to be better.
Is the travel going to bother you going that far away? You're going all over to Sydney and being away from the kids and that whole mess. Is it going to be more problematic than normal?
The kids are actually coming with me.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about missing them. But I don't think so. I mean, I guess I won't know till I'm there, but I really am the most chill fighter that's ever been. I just go with the flow. It's another day at the office for me. You know, it's kind of a typical thing fighters say, but I really do look at it as realtors go to the office every day. Construction workers go to the, you know, where they're building every day. I go to fight. I go to train. And so it's not as big a deal for me as a lot of fighters make it up to be for them.
Well, plus too, you know, a good thing is it's Australia, so the language is going to be easy. The food's going to be easy.
Yeah.
It's going to be simple to get around. It's not like, you know, going to like Taipei or Macau where the language is going to be tough and trying to get around is difficult. Like for this one at least, it's pretty good. I'm excited for this fight that they go off in Australia. I wish I could get there for this one. Unfortunately, I can't. This one's going to be a great fight. I'm really impressed with the card they put together over there and having to pull a lot of guys and having so many fights. UFC's having so many fights now going along that they're doing such a great job of putting things together. You're in camp. I know you're a fight fan, but you're in camp. So you have much time to actually look at the other fights that are on your card. But Luke Rockhold and Michael Bisping are the main event, and they've been going back and forth on this from each other. They're battling each other publicly and personally and going after it. Do you have an opinion on who's going to win this fight?
It really does interest me because I'm not a huge fan of Michael Bisping for no real good reason. I'm just not.
Don't have to have
Luke
a good reason.
Rockhold, though, I am a big fan of. I've trained with him a couple times. He's been to our gym, and I am completely torn on who I think is going to win. For me, it's always a safe bet to bet against Michael Bisping if he's fighting a top 10 person because he usually loses those fights. Rockhold is. I lean towards thinking Rockhold's going to win. I think if he can throw his kicks out there, kind of negate Bisping's striking a little bit. I think that could give him 5 rounds. But again, I don't know, and I've been talking to everyone in my camp too because it's really an interesting fight, and I'm glad I'll be able to be there and watch it. But I lean towards Rockhold, but I wouldn't be surprised either way. It'll be a decision, I think. Either way, I think it'll be a decision.
Yeah, I think it's going to be who has the better cardio. For me, is the guy that's going to win, and that's always tough to tell because they can tell you in interviews, they can tell the media, hey, I'm in great shape, I've been doing this, I've been doing that to get in great shape. But the reality of it is, we have to see what happens on fight night. It's the only way you can really tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Sam, thanks so much for coming on here, the MMAOddsBreaker. I appreciate it. You're going to have a great fight with Dylan. I think it's going to be an amazing fight. And really, the whole card, top to bottom, I can't wait to watch that. I'll be starting to watch from the very first fight with Marcus Brimage and Jimmy Tuxerum fighting all the way through to the final fight. I want to see every single one of these fights. I think it's a great card. Joe Silva and Sean Shelby did a great job putting it together, and I'm glad you're on this fight as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I got to ask, I mean, you do owe me, and I told you so. You predicted that the decision would go to Tom Watson last time. And it was a good fight, but who you thinking this time for me?
Actually, I have you in this one. I'm taking you in this one. I don't think that Dylan is a very squared, very straight-awayed striker. And I think that's his biggest default because he uses his striking more so to set up his takedown. And against a guy like you that has been dealing with so many takedowns in your room every day, that it's not going to surprise you. Once you get rid of that first angst, the first 30 seconds, everything's going to settle down, and then you'll be like, okay, well, whatever he does to me is fine. I don't see him being that good on the ground and off his back. It's a no-brainer that your ground and pound is way better. So I'm really giving you the victory in this one, and I think you're going to finish it sometime in the 3rd round.
Cool. Hey, that gives me a vote of confidence. Thank you so much.
You got it, buddy. All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.